It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Yes.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the Point University's assistant women's soccer coach, Coach Rocio. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you want to get started in coaching in college women's soccer?
Well, I can say that I started my coaching experience in high school. I volunteered with, I think, my senior year. And even though they were very, very young, I was like, okay, I think I want to pursue coaching forever, like in general. That's basically how it sparked.
What was that experience like for you getting to play collegiate soccer and going to Dalton State?
I think it was a privilege, especially growing up in Dalton. That's where my hometown is. That's where I'm at right now. But I think it was quite memorable because I started the very, not me, but my friends and I who played club together, we started the very first Dalton State team. So now it's grown into something very beautiful, I like to say, not just because I'm a female, but I think that a lot of girls now in our town are inspired and motivated to play at a collegiate level. So that was pretty nice.
How was that experience like as you talked about being a part of an inaugural team in Dalton State?
I think it is very important for us to have that light because Dalton is known as boys soccer. It's also called Soccer Town. And so for females to also have that platform, it was, like I said, it was something that made us very happy and obviously very proud for us to have.
For you, what was that experience like putting on that uniform and representing not just Dalton State, but your hometown?
I think I remember feeling just like, okay, staying home and staying local was not just good for my family, but for myself because I was able to continue playing soccer at a higher level. So it was nice.
How is that transition like going from playing collegiate soccer to getting on the professional and semi-professional route?
So there's a big difference between college and semi-professional. I will say it's a lot more intense, but I feel like college has prepared me to play at a higher level. And I think that's kind of what helped me be a little bit successful in that.
What was that experience like for you getting to go on the semi-pro and getting to play for Chattanooga?
Chattanooga FC is very known, especially up here in North Georgia and Tennessee. It is now, they're becoming a very big club. I think the men's team are now professional, but the girls are also getting there. Um, but it was really nice. The crowd is crazy. We had lots of fans every Saturday night. And afterwards too, they make it feel very welcoming where the fans would come out and be like, hey, let's go out and celebrate. We'd like to talk to you. We'd like to get to know you. So they made us feel like, we were all a family.
What was that feeling like getting to put on that semi-pro uniform for them and being a professional athlete?
At first, it's intimidating because you're going up not just against other girls that play college, but also girls that play against their other national teams. So a lot of my friends, I love to say that they're not just regular people, but I have friends that play on the pro level, and I'm like, oh yeah, I watched them on TV. I'm like, yeah, I know her. I played with her. So things like that. It's exciting.
What was that transition like going from being a professional athlete to getting into coaching and being a head coach?
So being an athlete and being a coach are two different worlds. When you're a player, you're mentally competitive and you're just, wanting to find that energy within you to just fulfill a full time on the field. Meanwhile, as a coach, you're tactically thinking, you're not thinking about yourself, you're thinking about a team, like you're thinking about 11 girls all at once. So I think mentally that's a lot more draining, but it's a lot more fun.
What was that feeling like being a head coach for a semi-pro team?
It goes back to intimidation. It was my first time, and I was pretty young. I mean, I'm not extremely young, but I was about 25 years old, and it wasn't just me that was trying out for that position as a head coach. It was other two experienced college coach that were also getting the offer. So all three of us were just being on watch to see, who was going to lead. And I guess I'm fortunate. I'm very fortunate to have had that role because that is what sparked the rest of my career.
What was that transition like going from being a head coach on the semi pro to coming to the collegiate level of coaching?
It's something that I'm very thankful for. At the semi-pro level, you are having to recruit, you are having to communicate with different players from different backgrounds and experiences. So it kind of prepared me for the collegiate level because at the collegiate level, you're now having to, make it a business as in, what can we offer to that player and what we can offer them as a future.
What was that experience like for you coming to Point University and becoming assistant coach?
So surprisingly, Point University has always been lingering in my life. I remember when I was being recruited in my senior year, um, I wasn't able to really leave my hometown back then, but now I feel like it's just a calling because I moved 3 hours away from my hometown to be a coach at Point University, and it was the best decision. I love my girls, I love my boss, everything's going well.
How is that feeling like knowing that obviously Point University recruited you as a collegiate athlete and now you get to coach them?
Coaching them is, like I said, I think I love it a lot more. Of course, I miss playing, but all of the experiences that I have now as a player, I am able to then advise players because of my own experience.
What does a typical game day look like for you?
A typical game day for me is I try to be very relaxed in the morning because mentally I'm already anxious. But I try to make sure that I'm able to just, get my breathing in first, wake up and make sure that I start off on a good note because you're entering like a challenging environment. So I try to start off just really calm.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've helped to build for Point University?
Yeah. So the team culture that I feel like I have helped build is more of something that I wish, that I had as a player. And so a lot of the things that were missing for me as a player, I feel like I have applied them to my coaching abilities and transformed a team to be a lot more united. And I feel like you can see that on the pitch now.
Who are some of the teams in your conference that you compete against?
Some of the teams that we compete against they're ranked, I think, the top five in the nation. UT Southern, we play Mobile, we play William Carey, Dalton State, which is my hometown team. So it's pretty nice playing against, someone who I used to represent.
What is that like getting to play against Dalton State at home versus going away and playing Dalton State?
Playing home at Dalton State is, like I said, it's just a nostalgic feeling where this once was me, but now as a coach, is okay, you are now my rival. And then we have yet to play them away. But when I used to play away at Dalton State, it's just, having to have that sisterhood with your teammates and just getting excited for the game and helping each other out mentally.
What does that recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes?
So the recruitment process, a lot of the time students don't think it's important, but we believe that character is it's a big thing. If you are able to have if you're able to play with other people and they love playing with you and they like you, then we will easily take you into consideration for sure. A lot of the time, physically, they have to um, be able to pass our fitness test. They have to be able to be coachable. Um, there's different qualities, but the biggest one is character for me.
As a soccer coach, what is it like seeing those freshmen put on that Point University blue jersey?
It's exciting. They're going from high school to collegiate level, and yes, they're nervous, but like I said, I am kind of like that mother role in that moment and say, you got it, you can do this, and just continue to push them through it.
How is that like getting to see them achieve those first milestones in their careers as freshmen?
After the first game, I do remember the relief that they felt. They put so much pressure on themselves, but I think that they are able to take on challenges. And I feel like they're not as afraid of, going out there in the world because they're going up against, challenging teams.
What is that experience like getting to see those seniors putting on that Point University jersey for the last time?
It is it's a I don't know if the term is beautiful sadness, but it's just nice to see them know that we have helped them be part of their lives. And now we're going to also be releasing them into the real world. And soccer is just a way to prepare them for that. We're just able to just grow their confidence and be like, hey, you're able to play soccer against all these good girls. I promise you that when you go into the real world, you should just carry the same confidence.
As a former soccer player on the professional and now a coach, what is it like seeing them going into professional soccer?
There are a few girls who I admire because they took that leap. A lot of the times you think that collegiate level is the only level you can play at, but the few girls that I do know that continue to level up in soccer, it is very, very something. It's just, I'm just a prideful moment where, yes, you have the qualities, and I think you should continue to let other people see that.
For you, what was that feeling like stepping onto that soccer field for the first time as a coach?
Very nervous because the girls are looking at you for help. The girls are looking at you for tactics, but also they're looking at you um, for value, meaning like if they feel like they did something wrong, all I all I will say is, well, can you fix it? I won't judge them for that. So a lot of the times you just have to be able to come up with a solution for them if they can't come up with one. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's good.
What have been some of the things that you've been able to accomplish so far?
So far, I've been able to accomplish, finishing school. I am a first generation American. My parents are immigrants, so I am able to accomplish a lot of things as an individual. But I'd like to say I thank soccer a lot. Um, because of soccer, I was able to achieve my position where I am now.
What have been some of the things that you've been able to accomplish as assistant coach for Point?
So far, we were able to continue to progress in our rankings. So this is now going to be their third year, I'm assuming. Yeah, I think next year, the third year. But we've been putting some stones on them to just continue leveling up. So we hope for next year to be even better.
What are some of your future plans for Point University's soccer program moving forward?
Moving forward, my goals are for them to be ranked in the top five. They have all the abilities to get there. If anything, they can make it further than top five. But I think also too is just continuing the culture that I'm wanting to build for them, continue that foundation of, it's not just the discipline that's necessary, but character, helping them know that the skills that they're building on the field can go into their lives forever.
What advice would you give those incoming freshmen entering their first year of college soccer?
I would say to come in as themselves, to not try to be anybody, not compare themselves to anybody, because there's a reason why we want their unique and their qualities for who they are.
What advice would you give those college juniors transitioning into being seniors and leading the program?
I would say to be good role models because those who are coming in as freshmen or sophomores, they're looking for guidance, not just from coaches, but from teammates.
What advice would you give those seniors that have aspirations of playing professional?
I would say do it. It's fun. It is something that I think that if the opportunity is there, take it. Don't close that door. Don't be scared to go through that door. And good things will come out of it.
What advice would you give those soccer players that are looking to get into college coaching after their playing career?
I think that if you have the right mindset, you can accomplish many things um, with players. The thing is, a lot of the times, coaching is something that they just take as a job, but in reality, in order for you to be successful in this job, you have to make sure that you're not just in it mentally, but you're in it spiritually with it.
What advice would you give those coaches that have future aspirations of coaching on the collegiate level?
I would say to understand your players and understand that they are humans and not robots. That a lot of the times we forget that because we want to win, but also success is not just on the pitch, it's what you do outside of the pitch.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the program at?
You can find me on Instagram, Rocio C. You can find me on Facebook, and also Point Point Soccer University. They have their own IG account.
Thank you again, Coach Rocio, for your interview and best of luck in your future at Point University as the assistant soccer coach.
Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Rocio, for your interview, and best luck in the future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.